Do you remember the record player back there? Well, you should, because I did a review, as you might have guessed. Peter Gabriel. So, Phil Collins released No Jacket Required in 1985. Well, a year later, in 1986, Peter Gabriel decided to release another album. This one is what took him to the top. This album contains lots of his big hits as well, including Red Rain, Sledgehammer, In Your Eyes, and Big Time. Again, like Phil Collins, like No Jacket Required, so is an album that you can just play over and over and sing along to. You'll dance, you'll slow dance, and I promise you, you cannot sit down, you will not sit still listening to this album. A lot of the albums that I have, you will not sit still to. You will stand, you will dance, or you will just do house chores. Or you could use them as workout albums. Like you could use the slow dance songs for cooling off, or you could use the slow dance songs for doing your crunches. Your choice. What I like about So is pretty much that. You can sing along, you can dance, and you can just feel that they are singing to you. You can almost feel Peter Gabriel singing directly to you, and only you. And not to mention, Peter Gabriel recorded this in his own house, which is kind of cool, I found. A little brief history. This did not win the Grammy Award for Best Album of the Year. It was nominated. I think it should have won. But then again, both Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel were in Genesis. Peter Gabriel used to be the lead singer, and then Phil took over as the lead vocals. So it's kind of cool. In some ways, I have Genesis albums, even though they're not with their bands. Which is kind of cool. There was a very famous concert that Peter did later that year in New Jersey's Giant Stadium. Seriously, like Phil Collins's No Jacket Required tour, Peter Gabriel's tour was also a mega tour. Like, by the end of the 80s, everyone knew who Peter Gabriel was. I mean, sure, they knew his singles Shock the Monkey and Solsbury Hill, but this album made him just an international sensation. Everybody knew his name. He was just getting hit after hit after hit after hit after this album. And then in 2016 he went on a big tour with Sting, and I remember that tour was huge. Lots of people went, even my friend. Every song on this album is a masterpiece. Again, a lot of the albums that I have fall under the category of too good to be true. My mother and my aunt recall when this album came out. I remember unwrapping the wrapping paper. My aunt said, "This was a giant album." My mom was like, "Honey, everyone bought this album." I can see why. You buy this album or you rent this album, you're gonna see why this was such a big hit. I mean, lots of albums are big hits, either because of the popularity or because of the songs. To me, it's a little bit of a combination of the both. I mean, why do you think Billie Eilish won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year 2019? The popularity or the music? Well, a little bit of both. That's all I have to say for Peter Gabriel's So. It's just too good to be true of an album. Same thing with No Jacket Required. Actually, both Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins' work are too good to be true. Thank you. You kind of already know what I'm going to rate the album. Well, it's just a solid 10 out of 10. Every album that I own is a 10 out of 10. I mean, why do you think I would own it?